Okay, let's run the volume down. There we go. Good morning, everybody. I can see we've got a few people here already. Pat Ty, good morning, darling. And Robert McInasia, he was here, and he looks like he's been and gone, but he sort of popped in. Anyway, we're off and running. I think I've got the new, what they call it, the new sequence of running this live stream on OBS or on Streamlabs properly with their new workflow. Yep, so good. Okay, so we've got chat working there. Hi, Sunny, Spunky. Oh, yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Mitch. Good morning. Good morning. I wish we had time signatures to tell me what time zone everybody else is in. Hey, Robert, how you doing? As I said in the chat just up there above us, I see you did the car show in four different videos. Yeah, I've got an hour of footage I still haven't stitched together yet, and oh my god, that's going to be some work. So that might be a few days late. 7 p.m. That's it. Yep. Robert Casper, good morning. How are you? Good to see everybody joining us. I haven't got Stephen on the program yet, and it was Stephen's idea for the. Where are we? I've got to look for all the stuff. There we go. It's Stephen's idea for the topic of the discussion today. Again, it's always good when he's around. Lucky Luke, good afternoon. Well, I suppose what we should do is do our normal channel roundup. I've got a joystick HOTAS control here, in the middle of everything, and I can't put it anywhere. I suppose I can knock it back into reverse, but I'm not flying anything. Give me a bit more access to my what do you call it? My bar down the bottom there, my Windows program bar. First, actually, Pat sent me something here. We talk about the smog in Bangkok, right? And Pat sent me these this morning here. This is the smog that we've currently got in Australia. Let me just get out of the window view. So there's a picture. I'm not quite sure where that is, Pat. It looks like Sydney Harbour somewhere. But that was picture number one, and this is picture number two from last Tuesday. Now that is some serious smog. I was reading online the fact that there's people moving to Sydney right now. Pack-a-day smokers are moving to Sydney to save themselves $210 a week on cigarettes. Oh, it's Lane Cove River. Okay, good. Yeah, you wouldn't want to be living in Sydney at the moment, I tell you. God, it's a contrast, isn't it? Lane Cove River is a lovely green place, lots of trees. Oh my God, and that's pretty much the same shot. Oh my God. Glad I'm not over there. I think I did a trip out here 2012 or 2013 where we had a sort of similar bushfire haze. I know it wasn't bushfires, it was a dust haze we had come through Sydney when I was over here or something, and everything turned brown. It went to real sort of, what they call dust bowl brown. I remember when I got back home, the dust on the car was horrendous. But this is actually smoke. You wouldn't want to be breathing that stuff in. Anyway, let's get the show on the road. We've got a few people here already, so but somebody's pinging me on something. I don't know. Where are we? Let's get back into the thing. Here's our Brave is complex privacy. So got it. Okay, yeah. If you're on a privacy browser, Brave is the one to go to. So enough said about that. Friends and alcohol. I need to go back to Hollywood, California to sober up. It's all fun except the headache. I know where you're coming from there. I tell you, I really know where you're coming from. I've really had to sort of cut down on my my drinking of the the liquids. Um, it's not good for your health when you're 60 or 58 years old. Yes, we'll get to Rob's house. We've got we'll probably cover that in the roundup in a second. Well, Rob Mack, where were you with CC? CC? Okay. I'm pretty sure he knows what he's talking about. Let me just minimise that. Okay, so let's just get the roundup, the channel roundup going. I've lost my watch again to keep an eye at the time. Okay, do more life. Okay, he's running a stream right now. What else has he done? He's done some interesting pieces this week. Where was it? Yeah, sort of. Why is it so hard to start a YouTube channel? I haven't checked that one out, but he did a 50-minute discussion or stream on that. Welcome to the new Thailand vlogging community. I'm not quite sure what that is. He's running that right now. He's got 49 people watching. Good on him. Changes in Pattaya. I've actually got an article I was going to sort of reference there about Pattaya, which we'll get to shortly. Anyway, yeah, you don't drink in the USA. Yeah, I hardly ever touch the stuff in Australia either. You know, just the drink driving laws were horrendous over there. Um, so you know, you don't want to get caught with that stuff in driving. You can lose your license as well as $1,500. Yeah, so we are live now, of course. So we did catch up. This is obviously from Wednesday a week ago, not last Wednesday, but the Wednesday before, when we were down in Charm. This is following up from that pool party we did. So the following day came around, and I told Rob I'd be down in the area. I squared it up with Chanya, so I said, let's go and sort of visit my mate Rob. And so they readjusted all the car seating, and we just trotted off to see Rob and checked out his new house build. I've got some interesting photos of the property we checked out last Wednesday as well. I don't think I can do it here. Let me see if I can do it and bring up some photos. My photos. Drag that over here. Let's bring this across here. So this is obviously from a brochure that I've got here, but you can't see the brochure because it's got blue in it, and it'll look weird. So that's the brochure of the build. Don't worry about the dinosaur there. These are a couple of the ones we're looking at. This one here is 5 million, 5,100,000. It's got a nice little plot of land at the front of it. That little square bit of land we've got there at the front of that house, you're actually paying ₦1,000,000 more for that house just because of the land. So that's getting an idea how much land is worth in Bangkok. Well, actually, this is somewhat suck on anyway. So this one here next to it is the one that's actually really caught my eye because it's got room out the front there. I could put a barbecue. We got a bit of space at the side where I could build a little sort of motorcycle garage to keep the motorcycles. It's a two-car space carport. That's 4.1 million, and luckily it's right beside what they call the admin building, which when the estate is finished, the admin building becomes a gym, and that pool that they got on display will be properly sort of enclosed, and it'll be sort of like a community pool as well for the area. So that'll be quite nice. Just a quick, come around for a pool party, but let's go into the pool party for the estate. And yeah, so this is something I can't. Can I zoom in? Yeah. So yeah, we're looking at plot 2 or plot 3. So plot 2, there's 45.4 square meters. Plot 3 is 69 square meters. So for the extra 22 square meters, you're paying an extra ₦1,000,000 and giving you an idea of obviously the land prices. So effectively, when you start to think about that, you divide the land that the house is on. So if that's 4.1 million, you might just say the typical house build here in Thailand. This is a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house. That's a 2 million baht build. That's really sort of giving you a bit more of an idea. I've been waiting for a chance to actually do some comparisons on that, which is good. But anyway, so that's something that's coming up in a video. As of the car show one will be first, and then that one will be out as far as I know. So we're a little bit behind. I'm trying to minimize. I don't want to saturate people with the videos every day. I did that last month, and it was you could feel you were challenged to get something out. So I'm going to try to just maybe do 1 or maybe 2 videos a week. As I said, we've cut the live streams down to 1 a week as well. Anyway, moving right along. Oh, we got 14 people watching. 3 thumbs up, is that? Come on. We got more thumbs up yet. Come on. Oh, no, we got 8 thumbs up. That's good. That's better. And it still is early. It usually takes 15 minutes for people to sort of start to join in anyway. Maggie's Journey. Let's moving along. Right, uploads. Phuket, Maryland Hotel, Thailand. She's got her lovely boyfriend with her at the moment. So she's enjoying the good life with her Farang boyfriend. She's been pretty busy with the videos as well. I hope she doesn't reach burnout. She's subscriber numbers are growing. People are finding her channel now. That's good. I think you've really got to do these little bursts when you're getting your channel started. You've got to do sort of bursts to sort of a lot of varying different content to try to sort of get the algorithm on YouTube to get your videos into other people into the suggested videos of other people's feeds. Shane Cashman, again, he's still back in Mackay there. What was his recent activities? Walk around Mackay, Queensland. Yep. Brian's Thailand. He's done his part 7 of his building thing up there. Phi, again, it's popular uploads. What's she doing? She's on to fat food again, is she? Let me have a read of what has she said this time. Translate the page, come on. Review, Oreo Chinese, no, I'm sorry, that sounds completely disgusting. 6 size can still be this size. Okay, and eating, Thais eat some strange food sometimes. I really mean, I have to admit, I can't get over the food that they eat. No time to Chuck. What's Chuck up to? Enjoy life while you can. He did one 5 days ago. Thailand is not for you. Thailand is not for you. A great day in paradise. Interesting titling. Long life, happy life in Thailand. Thailand Unplugged. Anya, good afternoon from the Philippines. How are you? Yeah, Luke. Yeah, the pool party was fun. We had a great time. I wish we could do more. We were talking to when we were out looking at the house last Wednesday. We were talking to Nan and Chai, and we're trying to organise our Christmas getaway. I said I'd like to go back to Pelock. I really like Pelock. Sort of. In the sort of what you'd call the mountains of the border area there was actually quite enjoyable. But whether we actually go there or choose somewhere else, I don't know yet. But we'll get to talk about that house thing in a minute. Anyway, so Stephen, he's doing his usual weekly broadcast. So looks like he's doing 2 a week now. News from Thailand with his crew there. David Daly, I think he's, I don't know whether I'm pretty sure that's Vietnam, but I can't be quite sure. Vietnam or Cambodia, that's where he's been out there. Chiang Mai, Thailand. Jocko is doing more footage there. I don't think he's back here. I really don't know whether he's back here or not. I haven't sort of got an indication. He hasn't been posting on Facebook to give me any real idea, and I haven't had a time to watch any videos lately. It's been wound up in my game. So things to do in Chiang Mai, sort of copying a lot better what Stephen does in his channel there. I think popping into coffee shops and stuff. Eyes of a Thai, harvest rice for the family. Looks like it's harvest time. There you go. Thailand, Thai Western relationship. How are you doing? It's a great channel name, but do you actually have a channel? That's the question. Let me just have a quick look at that one. Do you actually have a channel? Go to channel. Okay, so no videos. Oh, it actually does have some videos there, but it's nothing really, nothing presented. It looks like it's all personal videos. I think, I'm pretty sure I do know. I just got to keep like, I know so many people, unless of course people tell me their real names. I have to keep this matrix of all the different personalities people have, at multiple points on their social media. Oh my God, it gets so confusing. Um, but yeah, I'm sure that, yes, I think we've looked at this before. Yes, right, I remember the pool. Um, okay, I'm going to have to look at the About page. Okay, and you don't have anything in your About page either. So I've completely lost track of who I've been talking to. Sorry about that. The last time was stepson. Yeah, again, I'm just completely not on the same page. Anyway, moving along. Bangkok travel, Friday, December the 13th. He did another stream there from his location in London. Street Delicious. She's doing some local Thai food markets. Visit at 6 p.m. Obviously, the best time to do the local markets. Fun for Emily. From memory, I caught this one yesterday. Welcome to Thailand. So he's been running. Welcome to Thailand. I don't know whether he's actually coming back or going out again, but he's doing a bit of this bouncing between Vietnam and Thailand lately. Same as I think JC's bouncing into Vietnam lately as well. Jim Andrews. I think we covered that one the other day. Don't get scammed by this, whatever. That foreign bloke, he's up there. Winter comes to Thailand. There's a lot of what they call photoshopped photos coming out on the Facebook streams of snow in Chiang Mai and Chiang Rai. No, it's not snowing up there. Get a grip, as Stephen would say. And where is Stephen, by the way? God, he's slack. He's not even here yet. And we've got Oggy here joining us today, but he's busy refitting his computer at the moment with an SSD drive. So back soon. Bloody Mary time, is it? Okay. So Oggie's sort of sitting there. He's probably listening intently to what's going on while he's fitting an SSD drive so he can get a bit more performance into Star Citizen. He's joined me in Star Citizen. And again, I suppose I should do the gratuitous plugs here. Where is my documents? Anyone know how Kevin Tyler's doing? The last message I got, he was in transit. He was in Spain. He was in good spirits, and he was tying up a few loose ends. But I haven't heard any more in the last week or so. So hopefully everything's okay. But everything's as good as can be expected given the situation. Anyway, let's just do this, right? So let's get the plugs on the road, right? If you do want to come and join us in the voice discussion, we have our Discord channel. You're free to join that. There's a little bit of a questionnaire. Hold on a sec. Somebody's pinging me on Facebook. Paul, nice live chat, Thailand. Oh. Okay, so it's Paul. Oh my God, seriously. I'm trying to keep track of everything. Okay. I do. I need to build a matrix, a special Word document specifically just to keep track of what person's name is on Facebook, what they are on Twitter, what they are on YouTube, what they are on get the idea, because everybody just has these different names that they come up with. At least I have two names. I have me in the real world, which is Warren Gerdes, and in the gaming world, it's PopeKael. It's easy to remember. I don't want to explain the whole PopeKael thing to you today, but maybe we'll do that at another stage. Um, so only 3 months to go. Okay. Good. Yeah. Okay. So don't forget. The website is going to be ramped up very soon. As soon as I can find myself some time to actually sit down. I've got a project I've got to do for Chai. He's actually when we're at his shop last Wednesday, or after we did our little run around and went to the temple. We went back and did sort of barbecue at where he lives at the moment in his rental at his shop. And I noticed on his wall he had a what I call a whiteboard, and he sort of mentioned on the whiteboard his website name. Right, so here's me. I put it in my phone, and the website no site found. And I go, "Try, what's this? You got a website name up there, but no website." And he says, "Yeah, I don't know how to do." So I said, "Don't worry, I'll get something up. I'll get something in the next week, and I'll do a little website for his CNN barber. And if he likes it, then we'll go through the process of backing it up, setting it up into his own cloud, and then restoring the whole thing into his cloud. Then he can take care of it from there. He may give me an admin login to manage it for him and to keep it updated. But yeah, it'd be nice to do that. I was going to do one for Chanya as well, but she doesn't see the need for it to have a website as well as the Facebook page. But she may change her mind once Chai and Darren got theirs up and running. Who knows? Getting to the reason why I was putting all these links up. I'm only doing the one live stream per week, and that's a scheduled live stream on the Saturday morning. It just suits into my time schedule a lot better. But I have been streaming quite regularly on Twitch. So if I copy that, actually I go copy the link. Copy link.
Hello.
Yep. Stephen, how are you?
Oh, good. You can hear me. Good. I just having trouble getting through the thing. It looks like it's working now.
Yep. So this is my Twitch channel, by the way. Right. I do stream regularly there, and you're always welcome to join. We've got from last week. We've gained a few more followers on the channel now. I think I've got 12 followers on the channel now, and that's something that I'm endeavouring to continue to develop. And as you can see from Twitch, we've got pretty much videos every day this week of me playing Star Citizen. So I'm actively out there, and again, it's all fun and games when you're living here in Thailand. But as I said, Augie's decided to join us. If you've got a computer that's up to speed, I can give you a referral code for Star Citizen, and we can get out there and have some fun together. It's not a finished game, as we've been sort of saying to other people, but it's graphically rich, and it's quite a good experience. And it looks like the game is starting to get some good momentum and new content being brought in every month or so. So definitely have a look at that. What else we got? So again, back to the whole website thing. As I said, I will be bringing out some new content, which will only be available on my Patreon feed and on my website. So you don't actually have to pay to be a Patreon. These videos will be published or linked on Patreon and on my website when I do bring them out in the next few weeks. They will not be listed on the YouTube channel. They will just be for our closer personal friends. They're going to be a little bit more down-to-earth tips and tricks, or I still haven't got the right title yet. I've come up with Hacking Thailand, but that can probably have a bit of the wrong connotation in their vernacular. So I might have to lean towards the tips and tricks. Like they're going to be 3 to 5 minute pieces of just things that you'll find useful for navigating and living in the Bangkok area, which is where my stomping ground. So tips about apps, tips about getting the bus, tips about going places, checking out a bar which we thought was good, just little information pieces. Try to separate that from our what they call our adventures, where it's the two of us together, me and Chanya together, which is where our channel started. I want to sort of move into sort of keeping that and the live streams on the main YouTube channel, but then bringing all these information pieces into the website and on the Patreon feed. And there may be some special ones I do just for Patreons, but again, my Patreons haven't asked for anything special to be done for them, so I'm loath to sort of, spruik the whole join my Patreon and pay $2 a month to get special videos sort of process, because I find that a little bit not me. It's quite alright, people can do that, but just never really fitted into my ideal. I just want to help people. I reckon if I help enough people, people will subscribe and join my Patreon anyway. Anyway, moving along. Shout me a beer. Yep. Actually, it's a vodka Red Bull, but you know what I mean. And of course, if you're not subscribed already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, guys. Anyway, moving by. So I got the foreign bloke, winter in Thailand. He said, "Where are we? Banana King again, up in the north there. What's he doing? Temple artisan at work. Looks like he's doing some checking out temple restorations down about Thailand." Interview with a British ambassador to Thailand. That might be interesting for people who are into that sort of stuff. Actually, might interest Stephen there. He's into sort of that side of Thailand, which is something we're going to talk about very shortly. Colin in Thailand. I thought I mentioned this last live stream, but it says 5 days ago, so that doesn't make sense. Because anyway, he's got a video out there. 3 new visa requirements. Talkback Thailand. He's got his this afternoon at 5 o'clock Thailand time, and tomorrow afternoon. Don't forget to join those live streams. Thai with Sarah. She's also worked out how to get her live stream scheduling thing work. They've got that workflow that they brought in. This is all to do with YouTube changes. There is a workflow. If anybody needs to work out the workflow, hit me up privately and I'll try to work you through it as well. Managed to get Sarah up and running on it without too much trouble. So it just doesn't make initial sense as to how to do it, considering the way it used to be done. But if you need to learn how to get Streamlabs scheduling and working all properly, then that's just hit me up. Ian Welldale. Bike Week in Chiang Mai. I haven't seen that one there, but I'm going to have to sort of go and check that one out, being a bit of a bike enthusiast. And my mate Mick, right? I'd love to meet this guy. I think he's a funny bloke. Still struggling with any channel growth because he's only getting a video out probably every 2 weeks. Actually, let's look every 3 weeks, but he's up there eating rats from this roadside. I do find his videos quite entertaining. Go and check out his channel. I think it's real. Look, I'm going to put the link down there. Go and hit him up as a subscribe. Just check him out. I think his videos are quite entertaining. Serena in Thailand. Uploads Phuket Carnival, Patong Beach, and this one here was a bit of a funny one. I didn't like the title. The title was in Thai, so when I did the translate, come on, caught in Singapore immigration office and forgot to take the money. Interesting. I don't know what that means, whether she's caught coming back into Thailand. I don't know. It's one I haven't checked out yet. Anyway, Stephen up in Chiang Mai there. Luxor Hotel Bangkok. Looks like he's down here. Interesting, he hasn't called up to say let's get together. Slacker. Anyway, Rob. Videos. Banana King, good morning. Thailand taxi scams. Okay, I think something we covered the other week. We covered all the scams we covered on our live stream. Looks like Rob has taken a bit of a slant on that one himself. Al the Thai Journey. So he did his house hunting bits. We're about to give up. We were about to give up. I think he was about to give up looking for a house, but I think they found something down there, which is good. And then he's back to doing his little sort of walk-arounds with his girl. Live Travel Asia, I think he's preparing to go out, and there's the last days in Thailand. That was 2 days ago. So I think he's off to Korea to spend time with family. I also spent some time last week with my friend Sarah. Nick, there we go. Food Heaven, Comfort by Harlan. So Nick's there, sort of buying his girl some drinks. Bangkok, direction of Bangkok, uploads. Let me just get rid of that translation. Wisdom 101 Essence. Looks like he's checking out a condo there, and there's a night market. There's a few videos there for the last week. Might be worth checking those ones out. He's been not sort of doing so many videos per week, but it looks like he's back to his run again. He's almost ready to hit the 1,000 subscribers, so he's probably clocking up some hours there. Foreigner Joe, so many Thai vloggers these days. Yeah, and I only cover the ones that I know of, and people have made inroads to sort of say hello and sort of pretty much sort of say it's okay for me to talk about their channel. Again, there are other channels out there, but as I said, there's no rules about YouTube. Anybody can make a YouTube channel and they can do videos in Thailand. If they want me to sort of put them in the list, they'll have to contact me, either through my Facebook page or directly through YouTube, and to say, check out this channel or join us on our live stream. That'd be another way, come in and live stream, say hello, and we'll link your channel up. Anyway, so Foreigner Joe, kiss your money goodbye, dating a Thai Asian woman. His cost of living in Bangkok, Thailand. Interesting title. I don't believe that he's having a go at his girlfriend. It's probably just a way to get the views there. Fraser, what's he doing there? The popular uploads, videos. Talking about Thai language, hostel owner Ratty. Okay, so looks like you're doing a bit of a language sort of taken videos. Aussie and Thailand, Aussie Thai lifestyle with David and Noi. I noticed on his Facebook page this morning, looks like his girl Noi is coming back to Thailand. I don't know if he's coming with him. As I said, he's done a video of the pink sun over Sydney. The pollution or the bushfire smoke in Sydney is absolutely horrendous. Andy Wright, and he's done his adventure, Thailand 8 adventures. This one here is day 4. There you go. That was 15 hours ago, 2 days ago, and there's another 2-hour live stream. He's done a couple of things over the last week. There we go, 4 days ago. And last but not least, Robert Mack. Yes, as I said, we went to the bike show together. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 videos of his bike show. Definitely worth checking that out. Don't forget, if you're not subscribed to Robert's channel already, go check out his videos. It's a lot of fun hanging out with Robert, I tell you. I really enjoyed it. I started to get a bit of a sore neck looking up to him all the time, but that's part of life, isn't it? Probably a million sides. Anyway, so there we go. The channel roundup in half an hour, which is supposed to be 15 minutes. God, I'm terrible. So, Stephen, good morning. How are you?
Hello. Good morning. 41 degrees here in Perth. Bloody hot.
41 degrees, but you got no bushfire smoke, thankfully, I hope.
We did have a bit, but it's about 40 k's away from me, and then I've got some redback spiders hanging down from the patio waiting for a drink of water.
Really? Okay.
I've got to go out and spray those later on.
Do you?
But it's dangerous. They jump at you as soon as you spray them, so you've got to watch out.
Yes, I know. It's one of those things living in Australia. Yeah, I was saying before you joined in. So Pat sent me a couple of photos, which was probably coming up in the stream about right now. Right? Did I get out of the way? Yep, I got out of the way. Yeah, so that's overlooking Sydney Lane Cove. That's on a good day, and this is what it was last Tuesday. I'll give it 10 seconds to catch up. Come on. God, yeah, there we go. Well, okay, looks like 12-second delay. But yeah, that's what we got in Sydney last Tuesday. Pat was sort of saying absolutely horrendous sort of weather we got down there. Oh, weather, smoke haze. And again, I think what are they sort of saying on social media? The Prime Minister has managed to find funding, $212 million funding to refurbish his private jet plane that he travels around Australia.
It was under his mattress. He forgot he put it there.
Yeah, and but he couldn't. He was begrudgingly gave $8.5 million to the bush firefighters or the volunteer bush firefighters. We don't actually have. Well, we have paid firefighters, but they're taking care of property around Sydney. The volunteer bushfire service, they don't get paid. And they've been out and about there for 4 weeks without pay. Some of their employers will obviously pay them something, depending.
They've got paid politicians, but they take care of themselves.
Yeah, I know, it's bloody ridiculous. Yeah, you wouldn't want to be Australian for quids these days, I tell you.
Don't tell anybody how much money you got or where you're putting it. Don't tell them anything if you can. They already know most things, but
yeah, it's just ludicrous.
The more they find out you're doing well, the more they chase you.
That's right, they do. Anyway, so the article that Stephen made mention to, and we'll bring that up right now. Actually, I saw this one this morning. Let me see if I can open this one. You're going to love this one. It was on a Facebook feed this morning. There's a major factor that people seem to be forgetting about the furor over the Australia Day being on the January the 26th. The 26th of January is also the anniversary of the Rum Rebellion in 1808 and the only military coup ever in Australian history. It's simple. Declare January 26th to be Rum Rebellion Day. Everyone gets pissed on rum, marches on Parliament, deposes the government for the various vicious, lying fascist pricks they are. This would be done on an annual event. Beats the fuck out of elections. That's a brilliant idea. Oh, anyway, enough of that. Let's go move into the Brave browser, and let's get the article up that we were alluding to, talking about for this session. Where are we? Psycho. Cody, Psycho, how are you?
Hello. It's dark. I'm in Alaska. It's cold. So, yep.
It's cold here too. Like, I think we went down to 15 last night. 15 degrees
yeah,
Celsius.
change that C to an F, and then, well, actually, it's like 32, so it's not too bad here. Fahrenheit, though.
But the water isn't freezing in the pipes yet, is it? So that's one godsend.
Yeah, no, at least it's not negative, so it's okay. I would rather it be snow on the ground than like slush and then ice on top of slush. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'd rather be in Bangkok.
Yeah, that's right. You'd rather be in Bangkok, yes. So would I. But before we move into the actual discussion piece, I thought I'd bring up this article that was released today from the Tiger, because it's actually another Tiger article we're actually going to. But here's this one here from the Tiger. It's a good paper to follow. Follow me on Twitter. I republish their tweets as well.
It's amazing what money does, isn't it? Eh?
Yeah. So here we are. Thai immigration chief softens stance on tourists and expats. And they're quite boldly. They're quite boldly saying. The words. Here we are. The words are a new attitude from the Immigration Department that the years touted out the good guys in, bad guys out message. The new message appears to be, please come back to Thailand, we need you.
Fuck you. You kicked us out. I'm not coming back.
Well, that's it. We've got to know what, but they're just to come clean.
We've got to dangle some more carrots. We need some more carrots.
Here's another thing I think I mentioned on when I was twitching about Thailand. Right now, this is where it really gets quite ludicrous. Now, I mentioned an app that I came across. This is called the Thai Immigration. You probably can't see that because it's blue and we've got the blue background, which is the chroma key. This app is called Immigration e-Services for Foreigner. Right now, I actually created an account there, but I haven't used it because I find that I just lacks enough real, how-to information. So I went into immigration to do my 90-day check yesterday, on Thursday, not yesterday, Thursday. And so I'm there after I did my 90-day check, which didn't take too long.
And the TM30 dance?
No, I didn't do the TM30 dance. But I did the 90-day check thing, and after I did that, I asked the girl at the counter about this. And she said, I don't know anything about that. Go and see the front counter. And go to the front counter, and actually I have the picture of this. Actually, let me just bring the picture of this thing here. This is the thing that really just freaks me out about Thailand in general. So let me go back to my photos page and bring that one up. Right, now here's this sign. If I can can I zoom in a bit more? There we go. So this sign is at the front of the counter. Now the girl is just to the right that I'm talking to. Here it says, this is the 90-day report by internet. Applicants can submit this online application within 15 days and not less than 7 days before the due date of notification. So I said to the girl, so what the sign says, you mean so if it's 14 days from my report day or 13 days from the report day, I can still do it? She says, no, must be 15 days. And I said, but the sign says 15 and not less than 7. Is this a language? Oh my God. Even the people in the office in Bangkok, Chiang Rottara don't understand what the hell is going on there. And not only that, I did ask her about this application. She says, oh no, that application is only for Chonburi. So here's Immigration Bangkok completely admitting...
It's a bit confusing though, Warren. It says submit the online application within 15 days, and then not less than 7 days before the due date of notification. Which is it?
But this is the thing. I know.
It's and not 7 days before at the same time.
I don't know. This is probably just Google Translate. Let me sort of see if Google Translate will actually bring up something. Anyway, that application was for Chonburi office, right? That's what I'm getting at, right? And she said the Bangkok office says yes, that is only for Chonburi. So I just said to her, so I said quite plainly. So I probably shouldn't have said it because nothing really come about it. But I said, so you're telling me that each immigration office can operate different immigration rules? And she looked at me as the fact that, how dare I say that? Really? Wake the hell up, Thailand. Or not so much Thailand, immigration at least, anyway. It is infuriating to the fact that you can, even in the immigration offices, they can completely admit that different immigration offices have different rules. I don't want that. I want I'm just going to bring up my translator app to take a photo of that, because I haven't actually translated the Thai. Oh, come on, optimizing it. Yeah, so let me sort of do a scan photo and light it up. Okay, let's just see what Google Translate puts on that. Okay, internet notification must be processed within 15 days and not less than 7 days before due date. So that's what must be processed within 15 days of the due date. So they're missing This you got to understand how to.
Within 15 days should mean between the first day and the fucking 15th.
Yeah, but
So the
not
second,
but
third,
not
fourth,
less than
fifth.
7 days.
But,
So
yeah, they've added this little confusing clause to it.
yeah, but that's because of the fact that you actually submit the application and they have to review the application, right? And then you visit the website 3 days later, put in the same reference number, and they will say yes, we have approved it, or no, you have to then go to the office, the immigration office. Yeah, again, make this again. Getting back to this article, this is infuriating. You're making it harder and harder for people. I've just said, look, I'm right now. I live in Nong Kim, which is on the border of the west of the Bangkok province. It takes me an hour and a half to get in here, right? Your application, different people have had different situations with the application of it not working. I've tried it many times and gone to pay, and she says yes, it's off and down. Seriously, I'm an IT engineer. Hire me, I will fix it for you. Really, how hard is it? Of course, pay me
hire
$1 million.
me, I'll help. Or
Pay
hire
me,
me, I'll
pay me, give me $1 million and I'll fix it for you. I'm not going to do it for free.
Even I could do it. It's that easy.
Anyway, in the closing statement, he pointed out that immigration staff have a job to do as police. Yes, I understand that, and we want them to get the bad guys out, right? As I said before the stream started, well, maybe after you get the bad foreigners out, maybe we need to start looking at the bad Thais as well. But again, that's the incumbent system that I don't think will ever change. But Bangkok Immigration Office should not be a hindrance like they were with me in September, and should show professionalism with humanity and compassion. Really. Tourists bring a lot of money, and we need it. I love this stuff. It's a joke, isn't it? Anyway, enough of the sticking at the Thailand for the. Enough of sticking at the Thailand. I think that's enough of my little bit of a rant. Well, you come here for a bit of, that's what people like about my channel. I tell it as it is. I tell it the way we see it. Right, and if they were going to be encouraged to watch my live stream even now or later, then, and I'm trying to sort of, be positive. I love Thailand. That's the bottom line. I love Thailand. I don't want to move anywhere, right? It was a recent comment. Sort of somebody asked me on my what do you call it? Let me just go to it. I did paraphrase a good reply. So if I go to my comments, open in a new tab, I won't bring up all the comments. You can go and check out the comments on the videos yourself if you want to do that. Oops, I'll get things off screen. He asked the question, which is quite a valid question.
Bangkok have its golden era?
We'll get to that shortly. I was just trying to find where this question was. Graham Pitches. Was it? Yeah. So Graham Pitches. This is a regular follower of the channel. Graham, great pictures. He says, nice house. Cannot wait to see it finished. This is obviously in reference to Rob's house. Then he sort of asked the question. I have a question for you both. What would happen if your wife dies? Not hoping that happens, of course. He's just asking a genuine question. And then the government wants you to move out in a year because Phalangs do not own a house. Maybe it's a good question for chat time. It's definitely a good subject, and probably something we can probably look at next.
Don't you have Thai family? She has Thai family. Their Thais live there.
Yeah. So the way I've said in this reply, and this is where I stand on the whole issue now. We have touched on this subject in the past live streams, and it certainly is an interesting topic. I can't speak for Rob and his particular circumstances, but I'm here on a retirement visa. Now, retirement visas means the fact that I've got a certain set of criteria I need to adhere to maintain my visa status, which is, now it's health insurance, 800,000 baht, be a good guy, and don't upset Thailand people, and then pretty much they'll stamp your book for renewal. It doesn't have anything to do with my partnership with Chanya or the family. But as I was gone on to say, it is more likely that I will expire before she does, right, given our age difference, and then she will need to make some decisions on what needs to be done, because invariably, if I was to die in 15 years, for instance, or just hypothetically, right, on a 25-year mortgage, she's still left with 10 years on that mortgage, which she will not be able to service by herself, because if I died suddenly, I can't restructure my finances, right, to obviously pay her anything. At the moment, my finances, there's a hard line financing in my will that goes to my daughter. But, at some stage, I may feel more confident to change that. Again, it's all covering all the bases. You've got to, the one thing, I love living in Thailand, but until we can get a permanency sort of type of solution, to say I prefer Bangkok or I prefer Thailand over my birthplace in Australia, and I want to be accepted here, until that point in time actually happens, I have to keep all my eggs in different baskets outside Thailand, because Thailand is just there is a lot of risk involved in the whole money sort of thing, because that's the way Thailand runs. But anyway, so right now, I said that if she was to pass over, I would probably stay with the family and help out at some point. Stay with the family and help out. But at some point, I'll probably find another partner if I still feel agile enough. Okay, whether I want another Thai partner.
You might have to use a walking frame to get on top of them. But
yeah, exactly. But I would plan to stay here and take care of the family. It's been a great. I've spent 10 years with this family. And I've made a promise that I'm going to, help Mother out and, look after her. And so, I don't want to ever be said to go back on my word. And so, that's part of the thing. If Chanya was to pass away, then that would be the situation. But again, I've got to look at my own sanity as well. I wouldn't be able to bring new girlfriends into my rental house with Mother staying here. It would just seem weird, in most sort of circles. So it's a bit of a challenging thing there. So that would be a sort of situation we'd have to burn that bridge when we got to it. As for the house situation, this is why I will not put money on the table to purchase a house outright. I have always said that I will only entertain a mortgage in her name, and I will take care of the repayments until my time on the planet is finished, or the Thai authorities actually come clean and outright say that they no longer want foreigners living in Thailand. At that point, if Thai immigration turn around to say that I'm out of here, right, and that's it. I just wipe the table clean, cut my losses, and just get the fuck out. Right, that's where I stand. It would hurt, but again, I've been through one breakup. That was for reasons, and this will be reasons outside our control. It won't be a relational breakup, and the choice will be given to Chanya if she wants to move with me. But that'll be all we'll be doing. I have to say, if Thailand want me out of here and say we want foreigners out, that's it. I'm out of here. Right, Chanya, I'm moving to the Philippines. You can come with me, or I'm going to Vietnam. You can come with me. I'm going to wherever, Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, whatever, I'm going, right? They don't want me here, and you're welcome to come with me, right? You've got some skills, so let's go and use them. That's where we stand with that one. But as I said, you just have to cut your losses, sell what you got, so see if you can recoup part of that mortgage. That's where you have to look at it seriously. You got to take some hard lines in life. I think a lot of people get sort of too emotionally attached to certain things, and you know you just got to keep a clear head. What really works? Anyway, moving along. That's a bit more down and personal sort of discussion that I normally don't do. But I said it's something we can expand upon if you really want to sort of have a chat about that at some stage, and we can make that a I'd like to do videos on it. I just don't know how to really do those videos. They could be the sort of subjects I could be putting on this new splitting into a different category in the website and the Patreon followers. Anyway, moving along. So here we are, Bangkok's golden era according to expats. Actually, I did put another link up on our little chat there. I'll pay our thing. One of the things I do love is looking at copy
cars. Looking at the cars.
Oh, I just like looking at the old pictures. So
see if we can identify some of the cars. What's that green one, do you reckon? What's the green one? I reckon that's a Datsun 120Y station wagon.
Yeah, well, that's I've gone to Pinterest,
Sure.
and I've also done a old Bangkok on Pinterest to sort of get some pictures as well, sort of outside the article sort of reference point.
Morris Minor on the left. I don't know. What are these cars? Can you recognise any?
Ugh. I don't know. So that one
Morris
on the
Minor, Morris.
That one on the right there coming towards us, that looks like
a Datsun 120Y.
No, it's a. I had a car almost identical to that. What was it called?
Before my time, you're a lot older than me.
1 year, right? Wasn't a 120Y. It's a.
I didn't think anybody was older than you.
Fuck off.
Who's that bastard? Get out of here.
The people that the people who infest my Discord give me a hard time.
It's the brown one. What's the brown one? That's a biggie. That's a big juice.
Oh. I think it was Datsun, but it wasn't a 120Y.
No.
The Datsun
180B.
It was a station wagon of sorts, but it had a name.
Yeah, it wasn't a 120Y. I think it might have been a 180B or something.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But frankly, I have no idea. But
I drove one for freaking 12 months. You know?
I wonder when that photo was. That photo must have been in the early 70s.
There's a tuk-tuk behind there, and there's a combi.
Like.
I can see a combi here on the photo, yeah.
Tuk-tuks still look pretty much the same as they do today.
So Dallo says a Datsun 120Y.
Looks like a Song Tower at the back there.
So yeah, that's a Song Tower here. They haven't changed much in.
Well, actually, that looks a bit different to a Song Tower. Maybe it's one of those Filipino BMOs or what they call them.
Jeepney.
Yeah, it looks a bit big in the roof. Like.
Yeah. A bit of a snapshot of an old photo there. So basically, the article goes on, and it's they're just when was the golden era, and everybody has an idea of the golden era. I don't know if you wanted to paraphrase that or read that through there, Stephen.
When did Bangkok have its golden era? Well, of course, the first thing I think of is it's different for everyone. For me, it was when I first went. But the real golden era, if you're talking in terms of when Thainess was at its peak, I could only hazard a guess. It would probably be in the 40s or the 30s, or that, But you've got to remember, Elvis Presley went there in the 50s and 60s as well. It's nothing new, Thailand, to foreigners, but in terms of each person, I think it's different. But in terms of generally speaking, I think the Thais started to hit their shores in the 40s and 50s, but I might be wrong on that. In their masses, and then it just went up and up and up from there. The golden era for me, of course, was the early 90s, which is almost 30 years ago. Seems just like yesterday for me, but the golden era was when Thai was more Thai, and less reminders of back home.
Yeah, so that's why I've
definition.
gone through. See, Twitch is a guide. Pinterest is a great place to find interesting photos, which it is a photo cataloging system, and people will sort of link their blogs. And so this first one here is like, it looks like it's a forum somewhere, Teak Door, Siam, Thailand, Bangkok, old photos thread. People don't even realise that we actually had trams running through the streets of Bangkok at one stage. Cable, the electric
A
trams.
lot of those tracks are still there, especially in the slums around Bangkok. You'll see those tracks.
I haven't seen any. I've looked for them. I
Uh,
haven't seen any tracks on the roads, but I haven't been down
Seen them
every
on
street
another
I've got.
vlogger's channel that
Yeah.
who goes through some of the old districts, and you can still see some of the tracks there.
Mm.
They're really embedded into the ground. They really are.
There's one from
It's a
1893.
pity that,
Yep, go on.
yeah, when
Uh,
they first got their first big lot of foreigners, what year that would have been? I'm guessing in the 40s, but
Hugh Lumpong
um,
Station, 1901.
yeah,
That
Yep.
that doesn't look like it's changed much. It's probably had a few coats of paint since then.
Yeah, that's retained a lot of its same original.
A couple of young Boy Scouts in pose in 1960.
Looks like they had horse and buggy in that photo.
Mm-hmm.
Traditional, wasn't it? They were wearing the hats and the.
There's an advert
Yeah.
from Thai Airways. I know it's a 12-second delay before these pictures come up for you, but Thai Airways 1981 adverts fly through the air with the greatest of Z's.
And I think originally when I flew Thai Airways, I don't know when they first came on the scene, but they were much better than they are today. I reckon they've gone backward
Well, I think most airlines have actually gone backward because of the influx of.
because they're all trying to rationalise, economic
Yeah.
rationalisation, and it's just crammed in like a cattle truck these days. And the service is not same. I think it was friendlier back in, well, at least when I went.
Hmm. Oh, sorry, we had the Royal Barge procession, I think, was yesterday, I think it was. They had the Royal Barge procession, or was it this weekend? I'm not quite sure. Well, that's 1919, one of the Royal Barges. Nothing much has changed there.
Yeah. Well, they can drag those out occasionally, yeah.
Hmm.
And the temples still look the same.
There is actually a place you can
Obviously
actually
the
check out
river.
these barges. It's actually on the western shore on the map. I've got it bookmarked to go and visit one day, but I think it's probably 10 minutes of video for 300 baht, to go and take pictures of the thing. And from what I understood, you can't take pictures everywhere. And I thought, well, hold on a second, they got freaking this is a photo opportunity to go and look at the historical barges, and you can't. That's why I haven't been there, because I don't want to spend 300 baht and then be told you can't take video inside. They've got to just improve those sort of things. That's ridiculous. There's a 1907.
There are places in Thailand which value their traditions more than others. One comes to mind is Lumpini, is it Lampan, and Sukhothai. They seem to be very Thai traditional towns, and I think a lot of Thais want to hark back to their old days like everybody, but the trick is to get it before it's too late, because they could lose their Thai-ness completely if they keep, tourism the way it is.
Mm. I don't see any young boys walking the streets in Thailand anywhere in this sort of garb. And this 1907 portrait, Chunalong era prince. This is one of the princes of Thailand, 1907. Not quite sure which prince that is. There's another 1907. Not quite sure where that's been taken at. Scenes from 1887 Bangkok. I just love looking at these photos. I think it's just,
Yeah, they're good. They're good, just to
Um,
sort of give you perspective. People keep saying, "Oh, this is the real Thailand." Are you sure about that?
Yeah. It says rare photo, playfully within the royal grounds, 1890. I'm not quite sure what they're doing there, but it looks like somebody's having some fun.
Warren doesn't want to lose all his viewers yet, Pat Thai.
What did he say? Just want Stephen to see. Oh, right. Yeah. D3. Yeah. Good afternoon.
Just want to be your
Central Rama 5 gatherers posed with the family and
wanna play with
entourage.
tigers.
1936.
Tigers play too rough.
Their Majesties attend Praxta
That's it.
Prataksin ceremony 1963. Nakhon Phanom, His Majesty. This is the swing. That is in the swings. The swing thing is still there, but it doesn't have a swing. The swing on. 1931, there was a swing. You could actually swing on there.
Yeah, now it's what do they call those wires? Zip wire. Now it's a
No,
zip wire.
there's nothing there. It's nothing hanging from it at all.
No. Nowadays it's a zip wire.
Oh, you're right.
Patio,
Yeah, fair enough.
You go up
The working Chao Phraya, the working Chao Phraya River in 1950.
Chao Phraya River, yes.
Chao Phraya, yeah. Mind you, it doesn't look, apart from the fact that there's a lot more high-rise buildings, it doesn't look much different these days. I've done a few trips up the Tachan River, which looks pretty much identical, and you can just see all the old stuff. You have to go and check those videos out, of course. Well, we got 1934. This is before World War II.
Yeah.
1899.
My grandfather was born in 1898.
Mm-hmm. 1895 to 1899.
See, and they had horses there too. They had horse and carts, and the military loomed large, of course. Family loomed large. As they still
Look,
do
there we go.
today.
We talk about the floods in Bangkok. There's an image of the 1942 flood, Bangkok flood. People in there.
Which is why some of the climate cynics say that it's nothing new.
Yeah. Bangkok just has
Just saying
floods.
that
That's it.
alarmist.
Yeah, this is the thing. I think people just have forgotten the fact that there was a key subject that was taught in school when I went to school, and that was called history, right? But unfortunately, most of those books have been burnt.
What year was that, Warren? What year was that?
When I did history, well, I actually didn't. I didn't study history, but history wasn't my favourite subject. They
wouldn't have had history when you. They didn't have history when you were at school because we hadn't been on the planet long enough.
That was modern times. Yeah, that was so social geography, was it? It wasn't history.
You're so old. There was no history when you went to school.
Instead of making history, he was instead of studying it, he was making it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
They didn't have a word for history at that stage.
Stephen was right there next to him, egging him on.
Yeah, so Bangkok does flood, and there we have some pictures that proves the fact that the floods were in 42 as well.
Yeah, and what were they saying then? Were they blaming climate change? I don't know.
I don't know. They're probably blaming the war then, weren't they? It was 42. That was when they were being overrun by the Japanese. The Japanese caused it.
Mind you, they didn't try and have it all closed in. Then, like Klongs was the way of traversing the city. I mean, that's how you got around.
Yeah,
it literally was the Florence of the East, wasn't it, or whatever it was, where they have the
Pretty Thai girls.
That was the way they travelled.
Pretty Thai girls from 1925. They're still
the water was probably clean at that stage.
Oh yeah, you could probably swim in the water without any problems. Yeah. 1922
God.
river scene.
Let's go back. I can't stay where I am.
A 1963 poster promoting an elephant roundup, presumably in Surin. To tell elephants are part of their culture. All these foreigners come over here and just say, you can't do this to elephants, you can't do this to elephants, can't do that to elephants. Yet they'll go home and go to horse races and watch horses be whipped. And that's okay, bloody double standards. Anyway, it's 67 adverts. What's that one there? That's not Coca-Cola. Canadian Dry, okay.
And we don't use red herring arguments, Warren.
Street scenes from That's just one website.
See that ad for cow's milk in the top corner? Cow's milk.
Sorry, I'm not going to go back there, do you? I think
it's nothing really interesting. But
you
don't see many cows in Thailand.
Pinterest is an interesting place to visit. The Bangkok map. If you're not familiar, oh, there you go. So that was the lovely street wiring in Bangkok. I wonder if we get some more information on the street wiring. That looks like a sketch. Doesn't look like an actual. Couldn't tell from the other photo.
Oh no, that's the wiring. It's still the same. Then the wiring was still the same. The bird's nest wiring. See it?
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Oh, shit,
History
still...
code. Well, this looks like some interesting photos.
That's still there. That's still there. Yep. Travelled since the days. It's still the same wiring.
Just trying to work out where that is. Are they going to tell us on that page? 1970 Bangkok traffic. The cars have changed, but the traffic's still the same. Is that right?
Well, I wouldn't say it's dense. It's much more now. Don't know how much more, but a lot more than that. Yeah.
Thai Airways hostesses.
Oh, those are the days.
Thailand's most popular film stars in the 1950s and 60s. Oh, you can get lost in this stuff. You can just go through this stuff here and never stop.
Look at the service. Look at the service in those days. Look at the service. Look at the dress. It's the same every country, really. People are more...
There we go.
1969
Bangkok massage parlour.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about. I mean, what? Sorry.
But there we go. Bangkok massage parlour. This is a picture of a Bangkok massage parlour.
Foot massage only.
No,
Foot
back
massage
massage.
only.
Doing a back massage, but she's doing it in a bikini. You know?
Warren, you have to decorate Harry Potter's room for Cruise Stephen.
You all know the fact that he's not going to sleep under the stairs. You know that, don't you? But anyway,
No,
the next house
I
video
don't.
that comes out next week sometime. You'll see the house we're looking at. And
the
this is
amount
the
of
one.
time it's taking you to buy that house, I'll be sleeping under the bridge.
No, well, it's a 4-bedroom, so you get a room for mother, a room for computers, a room for us to sleep in, and we've got a room downstairs for guests. It's not underneath the stairs. It's actually quite a nice room. Well, the decorated house we're looking at looked really nice. Excuse me, looked really nice.
That was a big thing the old days. The dancing troupe, that was a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's sort of diluted. Well, I think it has been diluted today.
Cinema House, 1924. Did they actually have cinema over here in 1924? I don't know. Hat Yai.
Probably did, yeah.
Hmm.
The old projector rule, you know.
Don't know who these people are. Postcard, Bangkok to Portugal. Okay.
Just go back.
Old Vietnam Kingdom trial. Don't know what that's about. Okay, 1963. Marlon Brando at Bangkok, world premiere of The Ugly American, filmed in Thailand. Interesting.
Marlon Brando, yes.
I'd never actually seen the movie, so wouldn't know what it's about. I don't think you'd find it these days. Old Thai musical band.
Thailand always found a way to still be connected in somehow to the West, didn't they?
There we go. Downtown Pitch and Look.
There was some,
Pitch and Look, 1971, with a VW.
yeah, VW and little Trishaw on the left there, and the bicycles are still there.
Mm-hmm. Nothing taller than 2 stories.
Which is still the case in many country towns.
Yeah. Well, there's Vietnam. I think we're moving out of Thailand now. That's just one thing. Sod Sai. I don't know what that is. Sod Sai Chan Click.
As I say, the golden era in some ways is when you first went to Thailand. You know, it depends on when you first went and what
Yeah,
you found.
getting back to the article. Yeah, I think that's part of it. The King's Hotel, Bangkok,
if
1960.
If we are to salvage anything from this mess,
Yeah.
that would be the one thing.
Yeah, I do think, again, so I really, apart from my first trip, which was the eye-opener, my second trip to Thailand was, I remember it was probably one of the best trips I did because, I knew I didn't have to get the 700 baht limousine from the airport. I could just jump in a taxi. I think the second trip I did, they'd just opened Suvarnabhumi, so we actually had all the travelators, where the plane landed. You got the travelators, and you can get down there without having to walk. Like it was almost a kilometre of walkway in Suvarnabhumi now, isn't it? Well, maybe I'm exaggerating a bit, maybe sort of 600 to 800 yards. But yeah, so they had the travelators, and you got in there, and I did the research. I was told just go downstairs to the taxi rank, and don't just avoid all the people as you're coming out of the immigration sort of area. Or the customs area. Avoid all those people with all the taxi for this, taxi for that. No, just go downstairs to the bottom floor and just grab a taxi. They have to use the meter, and there's a 50 baht surcharge, which is their rank fee or something. I
never used to feel anxious when I went to Thailand, but I guess it's all this bad news that's come out. I feel more anxious now about going.
Yeah, I suppose it does create a lot of anxiety, and that's one of the things that it's going to take a hell of a long time for them to fix it, isn't it?
But you wonder what's going to happen, don't you? When you come into the airport, you think, Jesus, well, they're going to be in a bad mood today. Is my hair out of place? What's going to be the thing that triggers them,
Just hold on a sec. I'm going to have to go and sort of give Chanya a nudge. It's bloody 11:15. She didn't get home till 5 o'clock this morning. She did a late appointment last night. Just hold on a second. Just hold the fort.
Yeah, so when did Bangkok have its golden era? Of course, it depends on when you were visiting. That's what I said. I said that. How long and where you stayed and what you were doing at the time. Aha, that's what I said. But the city has certainly had some eras in the... Oh, my God. There's a noise. Shit. But the city has certainly had some eras in the past that would nostalgically, whimsically recall as special. And then they talk about a few. Everyone falls in the trap of remembering the good old days, but was there a time when Bangkok really did have a golden era? I think the answer is yes. Yeah, things like the Grace Hotel in the 80s. I mean, some of these things become landmarks for the Mungas anyway. But Simone said late 80s and the beginning of the 90s when the highest building was the Dusitani and the first disco was the Palace.
Oh my God!
You got to support this old retiree here in Thailand. Go make some money.
Oh my God! And the Motorola. I remember the Motorola phone. Look, to answer the question, I do think there were golden eras, definitely. But the articles definitely reinforce my point that it depends on when you were visiting and how long and where you stayed.
Yeah.
So as not to detract from everybody's thing. But if we're being serious, there were golden eras, as there were in every country. And look, the old days are gone, and the new days are upon us, and there's some remnants of the past. It just depends which era you prefer. I would prefer to be back in the 60s and 70s and 80s. That's just me. But there'd be young people who would just love the fact that they're in the 2000s. They just think, well, everything's cool, and that's great too. But what is real Thailand? What is traditional Thai? Well, obviously before.
Yeah, in my sort of view, okay, I did enjoy my first few trips when I came to Thailand, and that was like it was more the adventure and the newness of it. But right now, I'm enjoying it just as much now in everyday life because I'm not stressing out. I have the only stress I have to deal with is. As I think I've sort of said it in my Twitch streams and when I've talked here privately with people, is the fact that it's when people bring up all the negativity, it sort of gets me riled because outside the YouTube genre and these articles that you sort of see posted everywhere about the bad stuff in Thailand, on a day-to-day basis, I don't feel that. The only time I feel that is like when I went to immigration on Thursday to do the 90-day check. Right. Outside that, I really never, ever feel anxious. I'm going to the meetups and I'm going, okay, so meetup, okay, I've got to get the bus at 9:30 and then by the time I get there, it takes me an hour and a half to get to Bangkok. Do I stress about the fact that it takes me an hour and a half to get into the centre of Bangkok? No. It just takes an hour and
By
a
the
half.
way, are you still taking the buses?
Yeah, still taking the buses. Yeah.
That's harking back to the old days a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, you
well,
don't
you know.
really have to take the buses, but if you're taking the buses now, those buses are going to be gone, I'd say, in 10 years.
Well, they'll just be modernised.
Takes a while in
I
Thailand.
don't think they'll ever get
Yeah,
rid of
so
them. They'll be modernised like we have in Sydney.
catching those old, those red buses have been in Thailand for 30 years, I reckon.
Well, didn't they
40
buy?
years.
They bought a fleet of 80 or something from Korea a couple of years ago. But there was some.
Yeah.
There was
Well, that's
some.
all, yeah.
Well, 80 is not many when you consider how many buses in Thailand or in Bangkok. But they bought a whole bunch from South Korea or something, and unfortunately there was some sort of hoo-ha because they were actually made in China, and then they were shipped from China to South Korea or something, and then shipped into Bangkok, and there was some sort of big scandal about that because that was China were trying to sort of get bypass their tariff rules by double shipping into or something like that. Can't remember how it worked, but yeah. So I quite personally, I don't have a problem living here now. I love it. I just wish that I said the thing. I get negative when people talk negative about because it just reinforces the fact that you are on tenterhooks here at the best of times, and anybody could
Yeah.
see
I never used
see
to
the
feel
wrong.
that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never used to feel that, though. I've only felt that since mid-2000s.
Yeah.
Or basically when the government, the junta got back into power. It's the only time I've ever felt it. I felt it a little bit in 2004 when there was a bit of a coup there or whatever. But really, I mean, I've always felt at ease going to Thailand. And that's one of the reasons why I went there, to get away from all the bullshit in the West, the regulations and everything. Now that they're becoming more like the West in many ways. That's changed a little. Banana King said the 80s were the golden era.
Yeah, and sort
I
of,
guess
Cody's just said a Thai friend
thought-
just made on my last trip said that immigration rules are to deal with the rude backpackers. Really? I know that there's some new rules about backpacking and everything else. They're trying to get rid of that sort of part of their society, but again, the backpackers aren't a problem. It's the bagpackers that I find detestable. People who come here without money and expect people to fund it.
The fact is, though, that the backpackers stay longer, and research has shown they spend more money than the average tourist.
Yeah, the backpackers. The problem is
that
the
they
fact
actually overall they spend more money than the normal tourist. That's a fact.
But the bagpackers don't. There is a difference.
Backpackers. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know about the backpackers, but
young
people like they go to Europe and they stay 6 months to a year. They're spending overall a much more money than the 2-week tourist. That's a fact.
Thailand bagpackers. Let's just see if I can find there was some images. It's not easy to find them, but this bagpacking thing is a very millennial thing that's going on now. That they come here with no money, right? They sit on the street and they sell trinkets, which is
that's what they do. That's what they do in the West. Really, they're just taking their shit with them there.
Yeah.
Because it's this mentality among some of them that the world owes them a living, that they're entitled to everything, and they're not prepared to do the hard yards like their fathers and grandfathers before them. They don't want to work till they're 60. They don't want to. And who can blame them? I mean, it's not actually a rosy picture to look forward to. 40 years of hard slug paying taxes. So I'm not judging them, but maybe they're smarter than we are.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe it's we're just looking through our cloud of glasses. Yeah. But again, on the flip side, there is enough resources on this planet, and there's enough manufacturing and sort of and process on this planet where we could take care of 7 billion people and people would never have to work, right? The infrastructure does exist,
but I just believe in allowing people to participate, to take part, and when they feel that they can't take part or their lives are meaningless, they're not making any headway, they're just working to pay bills, I think that's when you hit skid row.
Yeah.
So a lot of them now don't want to be a working class poor. They're saying, "Fuck that! I'm not paying taxes and make the rich richer." And look, who can honestly blame them? Maybe we were the silly era. I was
Hmm.
lucky, as I said, because I had a lot of holidays each year, and even though I was working, my hourly week was 28 hours.
Right, right, yeah.
I've been extremely lucky, and we went on protest when it went to 41 hours. So
Mm.
we were extremely lucky. We had very strong unions, and we had very strong conditions in the 80s. And so I was privileged. But the people these days are being asked to work long hours, work for nothing, and if you work hard, you'll attain the dream. And they're saying, "Fuck that, fuck the dream. I'm going to live now," and I can understand that.
Oh yeah, I can perfectly understand it as well. And if you can do it, but again, if you're doing it at somebody else's expense, you know, uh,
Yes, yeah, yeah. As long
it's
as you're not
yeah.
using not as you're not using your parents,
Hmm.
and using your loved ones and using friends to get where you want to be, and e-begging and holding your hand out for money, then I
Hmm.
think the notion is fine. If you can work online digitally and you can whatever you want to do, sell your body if you want to, um, as long as you don't compromise other people. I think that's the thing that I disagree with.
Yeah, well, that's the oldest
So
trade,
don't
isn't
expect us all to
it?
don't yeah well yeah but don't expect us to all fund your life.
Well said.
If you're going to step outside the system, then have my blessings. Step outside the system. I can't blame you, but don't expect other people to fund your life. Have at it. In other words, where are you, Warren? What are we doing?
So I'm just looking at I'm just because I can't play videos. It's somebody else's video, so playing it's probably sort of breaching sort of copyright rules. But I was just looking at some scenes
Why don't we
inside
go to the
there.
article?
But like I remember the planes when you had the central video screen in the plane, not in the back of your seat. It just reminded me sort of when I flew to England in the
Oh yeah, yeah,
1970s.
yeah. Remember that? I didn't mind that.
Yeah, it was
I
like going
didn't
to the
mind that at
cinema.
all. Yeah, yeah. I think I like that more. I think they still have it, don't they? But it's only a sort of a map of where the plane's going now,
Soy
or the odd
19.
promotional commercial.
Pizza Hut, yeah. But yes,
Yeah, Pizza Hut.
I do. I totally enjoy living here. I like even at yesterday's meetup, I was talking with a gentleman, and he runs a media company, and he's talking about moving into using video as part of his services as well. And he sort of asked me if I'd
That
like to share some ideas. So I thought, well, yeah. And he
for a
said,
price, charge him for a
well,
price.
I
Nothing's for
said, but
free.
that's what I said. Like, seriously, if I can help you, right, then I'd be just only
Yeah.
happy to help you, right? I just hopefully that you'll either pay it forward or, give me something that
Fuck
would
that.
be equally
Charge them a
returned, right?
fee.
Well, that's the thing.
Charge them a
This is
fee.
this is where society has gone wrong in my where is the goodwill of the human race gone? It's gone down the
Nothing's for
gurgler.
free.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
the
that's
thing
right. You
that
got to work
it
for it.
has. You got to work for it, but
Make the money.
I don't need to make like it'd be nice to make extra money, so I can do more. My budget is limited, but I'd like to do more, right? My ability to do more is based on the fact that, well, I'm sorry, that's outside my budget. I can't do that. Just the justification to spend 20,000 baht to upgrade my computer, right? That is something I have to take a serious consideration into because, I have to upgrade the computer. 20,000 baht is 20,000 baht. It's a lot of money. It's $1,000 US. Or around about $800, I think it is. But unfortunately, I use the computer every day, so it's sort of if on a daily factor, that upgrade is going to hopefully do me for the next 2 years, right? And I've got to weigh that up. Well, that's $700, so it's I'm basically sort of investing $1 a day. I can afford $1 a day out of my budget, but basically, for my entertainment services. But that's the way I sort of categorize my life. I do those mathematical sums in my head every moment of the day. I'm not like a couple of the other YouTubers out there that seem to have
Sorry, Banana King. I remember when they had film projectors on the plane.
Film
Jeez.
God, he showed seriously. No,
Right.
I don't think they never did have film projectors. I think you're pulling one there. I think seriously. But
Banana King's younger than us, isn't he?
yeah, some people come to Thailand and they seem to have just an infinite amount of money. Again, like I got my mate Bob who rides motorcycles and he's on a veterans pension. He still has difficulties with immigration, but he's managed to work around the problems. He just moved money over here to assure his visa renewal process. Right before it was his income affidavit from America that kept him here in this country. He wants to stay here as well. He loves the place as well. I love the place. I don't want to leave.
Steve the Butcher said, don't you think e-begging, good day Steve, don't you think e-begging on live streams has gotten out of hand? I think probably yes, but I'll listen to what Warren's got to say.
Well, yeah, no, I think if you want to buy me a beer, there's a little dollar thing down the thing. You can always sort of, if you think that you enjoy the stuff,
that's just,
it all helps,
That's okay.
It all helps make me feel that I'm offering a service that really is free. I'm trying to help people.
Yeah, you're providing value. You're not conning anyone. I think it only becomes e-begging when
it's a
you're
value
trying to trick
thing.
people.
Yeah.
And you're not offering. You're asking for money, but you're not providing value. That's when I think that's what my definition of e-begging is.
Yeah, they said Patreon is like they're my sponsors. They pay a small fee, at their choice of what level they can afford. And they're just sponsors of the channel. But again, part of the deal with the Patreon is if you want any special videos, the deal is if you come to Bangkok, I will drop what I'm doing and meet up with you, and we'll go and hang out together, right? If you want me to do cover any special videos that's within my, realistic grasp of, a bike ride to here, a couple of hours away or something, then I'll go and do a video for you, just to cover it for you, as a special video for our Patreons. But they never ask. They just want to They just want to be patrons. And again, here what I do is I feel I offer a good service to people, that can be invaluable for acclimating to Thai lifestyle. As long as you're smart about it.
Dello says, I remember when you could smoke on the plane.
Oh yeah, I remember the 70s when I flew. Yep, I flew in the 70s and there was smoking on the plane, although I wasn't a smoker then. But even I think in 91 when I flew to England, you couldn't smoke in your seat, but you could smoke near the toilet areas at the back of the plane. That was in 91. But I don't think any time after that I've flown that there was any smoking allowed.
Lucky Luke said, think of Patreon and all that or donations as a sponsorship, was it? That's a good idea.
That's it. It's a sponsorship. So, and it all goes to just buying the weekly groceries. It's not like I go out. I do go out and drink probably once every couple of weeks, but I'm not a bar stool sitter and drink myself stupid every day. I do like to socialise with different people. But
Dallo says Archie Luxury anyone. I'm not sure what that means, but
Archie Luxury. Banana
King. They definitely had film projectors on the aircraft in the 70s. We had a whole crew just changing film cartridges.
Yeah, because I'm sure when I flew in 75, I'm sure that was the 3-gun projector. I'm pretty sure it wasn't a film. So maybe that was one of the new Boeings that Qantas were using back then. Maybe they just bought a new fleet and that had all the latest mod cons. But yes, that was my first. Again, I was flying first class as well. So
Qantas was like the HR Holden. They had no frills back then.
Did it? No, well, we were flying Qantas, and that was freaking. Well, that was quite luxurious. It's the only time I've ever flown.
TAA.
The only time I've ever flown for first class, I was a 15-year-old, and managed to skip school for 3 months while I got sort of moved to Scotland for 3 years.
We used to fly TAA, the friendly way, remember?
Yeah.
Wasn't
TAA, they went bust, didn't they?
Yeah, but called the TAA.
Don't know what doing that part of that clip is there. Look at the cars there on that video. I'm pretty sure I caught that bus the other day.
Still in service and running strong.
Every 5 rows, there are pop-down projectors on the 787.
Are there?
And then Banana King says, did they open fireplaces in first class? No, sorry, Della. Banana King, did they open fireplaces in first class? Did they have open fireplaces?
Open fireplaces.
Yeah, they used to have chimneys on the plane.
Yeah.
A
TAA became...
only on the Zeppelin.
Sorry.
You might turn your video back there, whoever's...
No, that was he's on push to talk, and he's on his open speaker. That's why he's on push to talk. Just got to give people only a second to cross over. It's all good. So what was that, Oggy? Give him a chance, Oggy.
Oh, I was saying that was they only had the chimneys on the old Zeppelin.
Oh, the chimneys on the Zeppelin. Okay.
Put the wood on the burner in the baggage department.
So they had to keep it up somehow, right?
Yeah, exactly. Dowlo, E-Began champion Archie Luxury. Yes, well, he probably could be. He's best I've seen.
Yeah, but again, we're saying it in good jest.
In good jest, but he was.
But Archie Luxury, I do know Archie, he won't mind us calling him out on this.
Archie's the only man that can stream in his underpants and not answer the comments, and have people still give him money. The man's a genius.
What a life! What a life!
Yeah, he used to invite 3 guests on, still does, and they read all the comments, answer all the questions, and he stuffs his face with pizza and beers in his underpants, and occasionally just answers questions when the donations come in. It's brilliant. But
Pat Tyson says, "Thank you, Warren. I must have been serving you in first class." No, darling, I think you're 2 or 3 years younger. No, you're 2 years younger than me, or a year and a half younger than me. Right, I was 15, so you weren't a stewardess when you were 13. I know that for a fact. So stop telling lies.
It's an alternative fact, not a lie.
An alternative
DC4
fact.
had a chimney for the... Oh, it was true. DC4, Banana King says, has a chimney for the combustion heater. Well, there you go. They did have one.
Well, that wasn't... Yeah, I know.
I think Banana King is having a Linda visit now. He must be. I mean, I know I'm not old, but Jesus Christ. The combustion heater. Oh, God. That's not dangerous, is it? Cock Warren, Steve the Butcher wants to know. Warren!
No, so let Mr. see if we can actually get the combustion heater. That's an article there. What's this one here? I seem to recall reading somewhere of at least one air crash in the 1940s, 50s that was caused by a faulty cabin heater or a rather crude design onboard airline. I can't remember.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Well, there we go. So somebody's confirming this. Somebody's confirming that. That's all. I had to look it up. Come on.
Just as I thought, it wasn't very safe.
Of course, Google search is not. Wait, what do we got here? What's the DC4? I don't know.
It'd be a wood heated one, wouldn't it? You had to chuff wood on there, or coal peat.
Beechcraft Baron S50 heater disassembly. Yeah. Anyway, enough of googling shit.
Shall we go to the article?
Yeah, go back to the article. Sorry, I was flicking through, looking at some of the cars here.
Whatever you want, but. cars. Oh, in the early days. Yeah, go on. Keep going with that.
Robinson Ceylon branch. Oh, there's some nice automatic weapons there and shotguns. 4,200 baht. I suppose back in those days that was quite expensive. That sort of looks like a Tommy gun.
Like that one. Like that one there.
What do you got there? Sort of soy cowboy. It'd be nice to know when these pictures were taken, though.
I think the bars were more. The bars were more promiscuous back in the early days, weren't they? Than now.
No, I don't know. I wasn't.
I think it's more conservative now, to be honest.
Well, there has been that over the top in conservatism pushed by the current government and the previous military government. They are very heavily, as we've talked about that, they are heavily conservative. They don't believe in out with the old and in with the new. Right?
Look at that shot. It looks like they're all in their bikinis.
Well,
the whole lot of them look like they're in bikinis.
Yeah, but they got bikinis over their bras. I think these days when you go to Soy Cowboy, there's just bikinis. They don't worry about the bra underneath anymore. But in those days, there wasn't so much of the breast implant, and the bras, even in those days, were padded to give them more cleavage.
And the women were slimmer for sure.
Yeah, well, they didn't have so many McDonald's over there. That's for certain.
You know what I mean? Some of them look like they've been in a good paddock these days.
This one, Viral Press, is just going to do some image clips. Probably things we've seen already, but there's some interesting cars. I think that was the one we saw at the beginning of the article.
Banana King says it's all about the money now. It was entertainment back then. Yeah, probably right. Money was still important, but not as much now. Yeah, I agree with that. It was more of a novelty back then, and they weren't so wary of foreigners. I think today they're more wary. And different generation, they'd rather slap you with a washer than wash you with a washer.
Like these houses here, like that's that bit of a street scene there. The cars might be old cars, but that's still typically what you see today if you go down some of the side streets. Even where we live here, the architecture sort of.
Yeah, some of those buildings look familiar, don't they?
Yeah.
They don't seem too good at maintenance. The Thais, I don't know whether. Well, that's probably due to lack of funds, but they don't seem to be able to maintain buildings as much as some other countries.
Well, I think I made the mention, like just across the next street around from us here, right? There's backs onto the Watt. There is literally a single story. They are like fibro temporary housing, right? And people live in these, families live in there, and they've got a lean-to across the side of the road where they're pristine BMW parks. Right?
Yeah, their priorities are different, aren't they?
They got a 5 million baht fucking BMW parked under a lean-to, right? And the house they live in is probably worth more than $250,000 baht. You could build it.
Probably 200, and they owe 200,000 on the car.
Yeah, well, it's freaking this whole image thing just completely doesn't make sense.
All got bloody all the latest technical shit and.
But that's again.
They don't know how to manage money.
This is the charm of Thailand. This is the thing that I think Westerners just find abhorrent in some respects. I just think it's just charming, right? I think it's crazy, but charming.
That's another way to look at it. Yeah. They live for today. They live for now, and they live for today, and there's no thought for tomorrow, and their priorities are somewhat different to the West. We would rather have a nice place to live in. Not that some of them don't. And we'd drive an old car if that's what it meant we had to do in order to have the more important thing, which is a nice house over our heads. But I might be wrong with that. I don't know. The more global Thailand becomes, I think they're starting to pick up on the need to save money, the need to manage money, the need to prioritise. I think they're picking up on those Western concepts now, whereas before it was more blasé.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, it's a Falung's money, the ATM, and then they can do it that way. Oh dear, oh dear.
Dong Muon Airport looks like it. But yeah, of course now we've got the BTS and the MRT and the proposed expansion of that circuit, which will make getting around Bangkok a bit easier. Yeah, but
I kind of love the slap happy way they just did things in the old days.
Well, I
the
still
more
think
Western
that
it
happens
gets,
now.
yeah, it still happens, but it was really funny back in the old days, like with the nest, the bird nest wiring, the bamboo scaffolding. I mean, all these things that they do, which because they've had to improvise, they didn't have the technology or the assistance or the money, so they found a way to do things, which I see a lot of Asian countries. You've got to admire that, but I found them to be really funny. Not that I was laughing at them because I couldn't do it. I found it just funny. And now, as they get more Western, you don't see the railway bridge falling down anymore. No, I didn't mean that. You don't see buildings falling down and funny things happening. It's all very Western. Wazza, see if you can find out the history of the bell being rung in the bar. Lucky Luke.
What the bar? The one where you buy the girls the drinks? Oh, no, how would you phrase that?
Just put down ring the bell, Thailand bar. They might have history. Where did it all come from? Probably from the R&R days. All the sailors were in town and buying all the girls a drink.
YouTube. If the bell is wrong. Thailand's story of independence culture trip. It's not an easy one.
Well, I mean, we had a barbell at our place in Portland. I don't know that it's unique to Thailand.
No, it's not. It's not. I think that's why I said it probably came in the days when the people were on R&R and then they decided to have a bell. That's my guess. I don't think the 2-week tourists would have influenced it.
No.
You need people who are there for the bar bell in Thailand run or ring the bell history. Ring the bell bar beer Thailand. Something I don't know. I'll see if I can find it. Ring the bell. Ring the bell. Thai bar.
While you're doing that, this is the video that's going to come out. This is the houses we're looking at. This is last Wednesday. I'm just showing you the footage. And yes, Nan's pregnant, 6 months. You'll get to find that out as well. But I looked at this is Nan. This is our friend Chanya.
Oh.
So there's your kitchenette. It's got this is obviously an extension to the house, but it's got a kitchen area. It's got the little outside terrarium sort of sitting place. I would just make that more kitchen in my build. I don't think we need that. That's just the way they decorate these places. This is the TV room. This would become, in our case, a spare room or guest room. Or maybe we'll leave it a TV room, but it will have a fold out. So the under the stairs, unfortunately, been turned into a bathroom. So you can't have the under stair there. 3 bedrooms upstairs. And all the rooms are actually fairly decent size. Well, that would be the study in my case. That would be where I'd put my computer stuff. and probably another cupboard for Chanya's clothes, because I don't know whether we're still going to store Chanya's clothes. She needs a whole room just for her clothes. This would be sort of mother's room, you know. I think mother would like that. I do like
70s wallpaper job there.
I don't know. I thought it was quite. I thought it was quite interesting.
The stripe one. The stripe one.
Yeah, there's 2 bathrooms. This is the main bedroom. I like how they put this division in the middle of the room. So you got the bed and you've got the TV, on the division, and then your cupboard and your dresser is behind there. Lots of cupboard space for it, but I still think that we're lacking some cupboard space. But yeah, it's these are the ones we're actually looking at buying. This one here is 4.1 million. Right, there's a bit of an area at the front where you can have a barbecue sort of setting, which would be nice. But we're talking about the slap hazard way. I just love the way, I look at this sort of stuff and it seems to be just, is this really the way to build houses? But it's the way it's done in Thailand. This one here with the extra land is 5 million. Just that little extra square of land, 1 million baht.
Wow.
But you could put a pool there. It's just that to me, it's just outside my budget. That's all. But anyway, I don't want to take too much away from the video from next week. I'm watching the video next week, not the live stream this week. But yes, the slap hazard. It just seems like this part of the way Thailand goes together. But again, what happened? That's right. We had the pump break, right, after 18 months of use, right, because the cistern, ball cock doesn't properly seal, and then which means that the pump downstairs probably turns on every 30 seconds just to repressurize the pipes. And it's only a drip pressure sort of problem on the system. But it has basically meant that the pump got 5 years use in 18 months. What do you worry about it? No, the guy come around. This is the local handyman. He cleaned out the air conditioner again, like he usually does every time he visits. That cost 300 baht, and then to fix the pump downstairs was 1,000 baht. $50. I couldn't even get a plumber out in Australia to come and look at a pump broken down for less than $100. It'd be $100 call-out charge in Australia just for a plumber to just a visit. Then, of course, you get to pay for the work and parts on top of that. That was 50 baht, all done, complete, $50, all done and complete. That was his labour, everything else, But it's slap hazard,
I was thinking, Warren, we'll do the ring the bells topic as a topic next week for a little while. It doesn't have to be the whole program, but
no, we can definitely add it. Well,
the more I'm looking at the more I look at the articles, there are some. Not just how it all first started. I haven't seen many of those, but there's different stories on it. It's quite interesting.
Well, I have got one other thing that I put in the news channel there, which I come across. Now, I keep on saying, bad news travels fast. And I thought, well, I like to add counterpoint wherever I can, and I come across this on my Facebook feed this morning. And this guy here is a sketch artist. And he's come up, I'm honestly fed up with all the bad news, so I illustrated 50 of the best ones from 2019. We're at the end of the year, so let's have a look at the 50 of the best things in his point of view of 2019, and let's get some comment on it. Okay, the first one, Malway female chef comes to power, annuls over 1,500 child marriages, makes it illegal to send young girls back to school. Didn't even know about that one. Okay, 7 eggs from the world's last 2 remaining northern white rhinos have been successfully fertilised. This may save the species. Sweden has rolled out a great initiative. Blood donors get a text message when their blood saves a life. That's a good idea. I think that's a freaking really good idea. Sometimes you sit there and you give your blood, and who does it help? But But if you know it actually saved your life, wouldn't that make you feel like doing it more?
So as long as they're not serving time in federal prison.
Well, I don't know. Blood's blood. As long as it's not tainted. Amazon tribe wins legal battle against
God,
oil
I'm
companies preventing drilling in the Amazon rainforest. Yes, I do remember reading about that article. This man in India planted a tree every day for 35 years and created a forest large as Central Park. I do remember reading about that as well. Norway decides not to drill for oil, worth an estimated €353 billion in the Lofton Islands, and to protect its ecosystem. Well, there you go. It's not good on you, Norway. Sea turtles are making a huge comeback, with their populations increasing by 980% thanks to the Endangered Species Act. Yeah, good one. Thailand supermarkets say no to plastic packaging and wraps produce in banana leaves. Okay, that's one for Thailand. Good on you, Thailand.
Jade Stars in the house.
Jade Stars in the house. G'day, darling. HIV. The HIV positive and HIV positive man in London has become the second person ever to be cleared of the virus after stem cell transplants. Again, you don't hear much. It's all bad news we sort of hear. Netherlands has achieved the goal of officially becoming the first country without stray dogs. That'd be a good thing for Thailand. It's another topic you could talk about. The soy dog issue over here. I'd have to sort of get Thomas back on board with that one and sort of talk about his little project. But there's a few. Foundations.
I don't know if it'd have a lot of bite in it.
No, right? Yeah, okay. Rice farmers around the world are using ducks instead of harmful pesticides. Ducks feed on insects and weeds without touching the plants.
And penises.
And penises. I was just wondering if you had to put that one in there.
I was just waiting.
How's Wazza? Oh, we're just running through the, we're coming up with the 2-hour mark. I thought we'll just we'll just go a bit light. We've had a bit of a dig at Thailand immigration and a few other things.
All next week, Lucky Luke. We're going to look at barbell theories as well next week. All next week.
So I thought, I like to look at counterpoints, and counterpoints is like how often do we sort of see the good things that happen, and this is a roundup of one guy's rounding up what he's found over 2019. In Rome,
people don't like good news, Warren. They only like bad news. So.
In Rome, you can now pay for metro tickets with plastic bottles. So far, more than 350,000 bottles have been recycled. There you go. Don't use money, use plastic bottles. Here's one for Canada.
In Australia, June next year, I can get 10 cents back for every bottle I drink. So
Canada passes a bill that makes it illegal. Makes it illegal to keep whales, dolphins, and porpoises in captivity for entertainment. Good one, Canada.
Although I disagree with that. I'm sick of being taken off the beach and put in the fucking everybody's entertainment.
If you're not careful, they'll be saying so long and thanks for all the fish.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not doing any more tricks for them. Fuck 'em.
That's it. South Korea is organising a daytime disco party for people over 65 to tackle loneliness and dementia.
That's right. I've got a place to go to.
That's for your post-65, fun times there, Stephen.
Yeah, that's not far away, is it? Don't you talk?
California limits pet store sales of cats and dogs and rabbits to rescue shelter animals only. Good one, California. The two dogs that I've owned were what they call pound rescues. I didn't buy one from a news store. We actually bought pre-loved dogs. And they both lived, I think one lived to a ripe old age of 14, and the other one lived to a ripe old and 16. No, sorry, no, Puffy.
That's old for a dog.
No, Puffy went to, God,
well,
no, Puffy was 18. Sorry, Puffy was 18 when he died.
18 years old.
Yeah,
Dogs don't live that long.
Yeah, he was a what they call, he was a real Heinz. He was a 57 varieties. But he lived with the ripe old age of 18 before he passed, and he basically died from a tick. He probably would have lived longer. He was quite a sprightly sort of lad. And of course, the other dog, he lived to 16 years old.
Yeah, that's about the average for a dog. Oh, well, they don't even live that long. I think the average is 12 years.
Yeah.
That's above average.
Holland covers hundreds of bus stops with plants, green roofs, where bees can take refuge. Haven't read that one anywhere. That's a good idea. Iceland becomes the first country in the world to legally enforce equal pay for women, men and women. That's a contentious issue because the fact that, it's a whole other story. I'm not going to go into it. But maybe they have worked out some sort of process that has equalised those pay gaps.
They still expect us to, and even so, they still expect us to pay.
San Francisco Cuddle Club unites senior people and senior dogs who need companionship, exercise and affection. Oh, that's an interesting one. Scientists in Finland have developed the world's first vaccine to fight off bear apocalypse. So we've heard the bear apocalypse. Did you know there's a vaccine for it? Interesting. Of course, good news doesn't travel at all.
Nah, it's boring.
A robot called Larvalbot is delivering coral babies
to the Great
Barrier
Barrier
Reef to help
restore the reefs to what they were. Yeah, okay, interesting.
I did read something similar where there's some guy who was working in that industry found the fact that he was absolutely able to increase the growth rate of coral by fracturing coral and making coral pieces. They actually grew faster as pieces rather than single things or something like that. And he was able to. He was now repopulating coral areas from his process. But this is probably a similar process as well. German circus uses hologram animals instead of real animals in an attempt to end animal cruelty. Okay. This amazing village in India celebrates their daughters by planting 111 trees every time a girl is born. So far,
How about a hologram dating website?
Right. Okay. After it was revealed that more than 1,500 people die annually by suicide, Sweden premieres world's first mental health ambulance. Okay, mental health ambulance. Okay. Scientists found an edible mushroom that eats plastic, and it could clean our landfills. That's an interesting one. Again, I haven't heard of half of these. Record-breaking 4,855 people waited for hours in the rain for stem cell tests to help save a 5-year-old boy fighting a rare cancer. Good one.
Very nice.
Humanity is humanity. There are times when you think humanity might be worth saving.
We have some bad news now.
You're getting ulterior, are you? South Korea once revealed 2% of its food waste. South Korea once recycled 2% of its food waste. Now it recycles 95% thanks to smart bins and special biodegradable bags. Okay. Good one, South Korea. YouTube has banned white supremacist content. Yes, we know over there.
Yeah.
Right, and thousands of hate speech channels will be removed. I did hear of one that frequents the Thailand genre that has been removed, and
we won't mention the name.
We don't mention the war, right? Did I tell you I have a Twitch channel?
You just mentioned the war.
I just mentioned my Twitch channel. Come on, I got a Twitch channel. I told you that before. Peru has commented on ending palm oil-driven deforestation by 2021. Momentous win for wildlife and sustainable agriculture. Okay, good one. Welcome back. The humpback whales have come back from the brink of extinction. I did read about this. Thanks to conservation efforts, they've gone from a few hundred to 25,000. And that's why Japan now wants to restart their whaling industry, because they can now fish again for whales. Somebody needs to drop another bomb on Hiroshima, I think. Villagers knit giant sweaters for Indian elephants to protect them from the near freezing temperatures. Okay, elephants in sweaters. Why not? A 7-mile bee corridor of vibrant wildflowers is being planted to encourage the insect populations of London. In London, bee corridors. Okay, so similar thing that was in Sweden. Okay. With their bus stops, I guess. Scientists in Mexico create fake plastic from cactus juice that biodegrades in a month and is safe to ingest. Okay, well,
Yeah, just
we
like to eat.
we know it. We know this is possible, but whether it's economically viable, that's yet to be seen. Like all that plastic could be recycled, but the actual energy to recycle actually is more than the actual cost of the product, and everything comes down to the lowest common denominator. But I do remember us reading something last year or the year before. Somebody's actually got a plastic recycling engine that is actually sort of the energy that gains from the recycling process can restart the actual recycling process. They haven't reached an efficiency level that is worthwhile mass producing it yet. Things will happen. They've just got to find the right catalysts. Baby African elephants will no longer be taken from the wild and sold to zoos and circuses after a near total ban has been approved. Okay, good.
That's good news. Good.
Netherlands have built 5 artificial islands to preserve wildlife. In the first 2 years, 30,000 birds and 127 kinds of plants have been reintroduced. Okay. Just it's in the Netherlands, a bit on the cold side, but yeah. In a breakthrough that could save thousands of lives, scientists convert all blood types to a universal type O that is safe for all patients to receive. Okay, I haven't even read about that.
Paolo says he loves whales, but he can't eat a whole one.
Mm-hmm.
Supposed to laugh. Thanks, you, Warren. There's a bit of a delayed laugh there. You're supposed to laugh at that.
No, it's all right. I just can't.
Stephen Monash says, "Shout me a beer." Oh, sorry.
No, that's good on you, but Stephen. Shout Stephen a beer. He's coming out here, and he says he's coming in January.
Well,
I need some cash to buy Stephen a beer. The UK has reintroduced its carbon emissions for the 6th year in a row. Last time on the UK front, so like did you see that the pound jumped a baht yesterday? What have we got today?
No, didn't see that.
Right, so
Anytime Warren shouts if it's shark bits.
It was 39.5 when they went to the polls, right, and it instantly jumped to 40.7.
What's the Aussie baht at the moment? What's the Aussie baht? 21.
The Aussie did gain some ground yesterday, and I actually transferred another 100,000 baht out of Australia, which was good, but it's now dropped down to 20.7. But I did transfer at 20.8 for some funds transfer to get some money over here. So I did transfer at the right time. But yeah, UK, when they mentioned UK, I just thought I'd just throw that one in there. As recycled as carbon, yeah, okay, right then. Taiwan's parliament passes historic same-sex marriage law, making it the first place in Asia to do so. Well, we could sort of see Thailand sort of follow suit at some stage. The creator of Fortnite, Tim Sweeney, is buying thousands of acres of forest to stop it from being cut down. Okay.
That wasn't Thailand, that was Taiwan, Ron.
Taiwan. Yeah, no. Thailand is also got some bills in that area, but they're just moving very slowly through the process. I think that's starting out with what they call a anti-discrimination act, which is making it a discriminating thing if you're discriminating against a ladyboy or LGBT in employment. That's where it starts, and then of course it'll escalate from there. But again, it's out with the old, in with the new, but it just takes time. A new study finds that dogs' highly evolved sense of smell can identify cancer with incredible accuracy. Actually, I've read about that sort of many years ago as well. There was a story of a dog that I can't remember the exact term, but I think he started eating.
I have a dream.
He's eating a foot of somebody, eating this person's foot because of gangrene or something, and it actually saved his life. One of those weird stories you come across. I have a dream. In America, 57% of black men have made it into middle class or higher.
Warren, who said that? Who said that? Who said it? I have a dream. Who said it?
Dream. Yeah, that's all right. Higher than share.
Who said
Martin Luther King Jr.
Oh, thank you, Augie. You just stuffed my question up to Warren. Thank you very much.
Well, I don't know American politics.
Martin Luther King. You don't know who Martin Luther King is?
Again, it's never been really part of
Pretty much an American thing, isn't it?
It is.
It's a worldwide thing.
Oh, it depends on your.
Martin Luther King is.
It depends on. I do remember the statement, but it has no bearing on my lifestyle. You know. It's not, like I've always had dreams. I live my dream,
Next, you'll be telling me you don't know who who Muhammad Ali was.
No, he was a boxer.
Oh, well done.
But I wasn't into boxing either. Galapagos iguana make return to the island almost 200 years after Charles Darwin recorded them there. Well, they're coming back, so okay, I guess they were extinct on the island. The world is literally a greener place than it was 20 years ago, NASA satellite study finds. Yeah. Renewable energy sources now account for around 1/3 of all global power. I bet you didn't realise that. In Lagos, Lagos. What? What are you laughing at now?
I bet you do. You.
Okay. In Lagos, Nigeria, they'll take your money and sell you, fake insurance policies. They recycled pay. The Recycle Pay project allows parents to cover their kids' school fees by collecting and bringing plastic waste to recyclers. Well, that's a good thing in Nigeria, rather than all the Nigerian scams you hear about. Colombian woman.
Sleeps right now.
Colombian woman with visual impairments trained to detect breast cancer are outperforming. Colombia women with visual impairments trained to detect breast cancer are outperforming doctors. Interesting. Okay.
I might try and get it.
You're doing the physical exam.
Yeah.
And being able to do better than doctors with vision because they're distracted.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I suppose that makes sense, doesn't it, Doggy? Yeah.
I promise to wear a blindfold.
46. Global suicide rate has dropped by 38% from its peak in 1994, saving 4 million lives. Okay.
But were they worth saving?
Well, that's another story for another day. Okay, the unprecedented legal victory for indigenous rights in Ecuador frees up huge swathes of Amazonian rainforest from global mining. Okay. For the first time, mathematicians' most prestigious prize has been awarded to a woman. I don't know what that was about, but good on them. Women can do math too. How's that? If they can only budget, it'd be good.
Let's not give them any more rights, Warren. They've got enough now.
Research finds that feeding crows seaweed cuts 99% of greenhouse gas emissions. Sorry, cows.
Feeding
crows. Did I say crows? Did I?
Yeah, unfortunately.
I don't know where their R came from. It's me and my eyesight. Research finds that feeding crows seaweed cuts 90% of greenhouse Crows, yeah. That's it, cows, okay. Cows and crows. I said that a second time. Why have I got crows on my fucking head? I don't know. Cows, seaweed cuts 99% of greenhouse gas emissions from their burp and farts. Okay, well, at least we know what to do if washed up seaweed can go now, can't we? And number 50, AFDB's...
Yeah, my boss pays me from his burps and farts.
The AFDB's solar project in Africa aims to connect 90 million people to electricity for the first time, lifting them out of energy poverty. Well, there you go. Some good news articles for a change. But you didn't catch all them.
No, I don't feel any better, really.
You don't feel any better?
The elephants one, though. I like the elephants, the baby elephants. They're not putting them in zoos. That's good.
Yeah.
All the
I like the elephants.
There's so much more could be done. So much more could be done. Oh, excuse me. Anyway, we're done over 2 hours. We're up to 2 hours and a quarter.
So.
What else are we
We've
going
got
to do?
a lot watching. We've got a lot watching. We haven't done the article, finished it, but I think that's enough for today. What do you reckon?
It's all right. We're basically was our point of view on of the whole idea of when was the best time. And as I said, I think you summed it up. I think the best time is every time you come here. But if you've come here for a long period of time, there will be points of the older that you'll always want to relive. And unfortunately, in a modern society like Bangkok, and that picture just gives you a picture of what Bangkok looks like today. It's a metropolis. It's moving forward at a pace that the politicians can't keep up with, and this will always be a problem with Bangkok. But it is only really Bangkok. You won't find the same type of city anywhere else. Chiang Mai is nowhere near like Bangkok. Pattaya is not like Bangkok. Bangkok
let's
is
have a look
unique.
at a few different eras. In the 60s, this person said, I think Bangkok really came to life in the 60s when it started developing its own pop culture style in clothing, furniture, music and cinema. It sort of regressed into a bad version of everything Western later but there was a bright glimmering decade when Bangkok was the hip Asian city.
But I still think it
when
is
I
hip.
first visited
From my
when I
point of
first
view.
visited Thailand in the late 50s, I would stand out and people would stop me in the street to take a photo with me. It was very Thai then, and very few people had any English skills at all. It was a very difficult place to live as a foreigner at that stage, and things slowly improved during the 60s until we had to leave in 1969. I guess that was the wars that were going on. There was no high-rise in those days, and shopping was at local markets. The only cars driving around those days were all imported, and they had just started filling in the old klongs to make new roads. The late 80s, he agrees with Banana King, in the tourist areas. Then people discovered the real Thailand outside of these areas. Some places are improving to this day, but are still not too touristy to keep them a secret. Much better when a bar girl would gush with gratitude. Oh, Jesus. And do cartwheels after receiving a 10-baht tip for fetching beers all afternoon and wiping down your fat pockmarked back with an ice cold towel. Oh dear. The 70s, when we were posted, there was magic. No big skyscrapers, one department store on Ceylon Road and good shopping at small family shops. A couple of supermarkets and a great day out was then the weekend markets. We still visit, but it's not what it used to be. They just opened the SkyTrain in the early 2000s, and the city in its early phase of changing from another Asian city into a modern metropolis. I was teaching at the time. King Bhumipol was still making appearances at functions, and the tourists were still really starting to arrive in their millions, rather than in the thousands. Businesses seemed to be booming around that time, and everything seemed happy and prosperous. It was the best 5 years of my life. Returning in 2017, it was completely a different city, and appeared to carry the burden of a big city. According to Gordon, the golden era is relative to age, gender, race, sexual orientation, income, social status, nationality, and experience of the individual person. Hence, the golden era is simultaneously occurs at all times, past, present, and at no time ever. I disagree and agree with that. I think that's a compromise that we have to accept, that our own experiences are going to be the golden era. But if we're talking about it in its literal meaning, I think it's the 50s and 60s and 70s. Each of those decades were golden eras. I think golden eras are no longer, in terms of Thai tradition, in Thai-ness, I think they're on the decline.
Okay, there's an article that came through that I picked up this morning that I thought I'd have a look at as well. Now, this is in Thai, so we'll have to do a bit of a translation. Okay, translate this page. Come on. What's it? Come on. Why is my translate this page? Okay, it's not translating today. Translate to English. Come on. There we go. Sofon Cable TV Communications PopeKael, Vice President of Pattaya, revealing high season occupancy rates cut by 20% due to global economic shaking indicates Chinese Korean tourist market fled to Vietnam. The tourist market is the last hope that spending is still high. So this is obviously in counterpoint to that article I sort of referenced a bit earlier. So this is a Thai Facebook page, which probably you won't come across many in your normal searching, but I managed to get a link for it this morning. Mr. Osu, Deputy Mayor of Pattaya, revealed that according to the statistics of various hotels in Pattaya, stating that during the high season of the year 2019, or since mid-October normally, occupancy rates is almost 100% at this time. It has decreased from about 20% since last year. The number of suppliers of both hotels and accommodation in Pattaya has increased, but the occupancy rate has decreased, which is caused by the impact of external forces such as the world economy. So here's another, just basically another article, just saying that they are now realising that they've completely fucked over the whole tourist industry, and I really don't know if there's any way back from it. Russia top 3. So again, Russia's the one that don't pay their doctors' bills. Why you pander for the Chinese and the Russians when they're the ones that are causing all this bloody hospital ruckus? Coming from a communist country, they think the hospital should be free. So they go and get the hospital service here in a different country because it's better than your free service that you're getting in your home, and then you don't pay your bill. They're the bad guys we want out. How do we fix that? Anyway, I thought I'd just throw that one up there. Disabled access got a long way to go in Bangkok. Well, they need to start with fixing their frickin' footpaths first. Anybody in a wheelchair, God, it must be a frickin' rocky ride. I quite often stub my toe, when I'm walking through the streets of Bangkok, let alone trying to sort of get a lift or something up to up a sort of flight of stairs. Although, a lot of the modern shops have got, what they call wheelchair ramps. Some of those wheelchair ramps, have been, a 45-degree wheelchair ramp. Who's that going to service? Anyway, so where are we? So, what I should do, I don't think we've got anything more to cover, have we, Stephen? Stephen? What happened to Stephen? Couldn't Stephen? He's just reconnect if you're still there, Stephen. It looks like you've clicked something and it's turned your sound off. Anyway, what I do need to do is I need to go and get my music, my party music up again. Oh, receive files. No, not receive files. Google Drive.
You realize we've been in the lobby the whole time?
Have we? Oh, we're slack, aren't we? Lucky nobody's played any commercial music on the lobby.
I could have Fred voted you.
You could have Fred voted me, yes, I know. Anyway, so I thought we've probably done enough today. We've had a pretty good audience again. Where are we currently with the audience thing?
There was an audience?
our audience on our YouTube stream. 27 people watching now. Sorry, sound went off. Yeah, play a song, get off. Dallow's watching the cricket. Stephen fell asleep. Yeah. Cue the song, get off. He says. I don't have the TM30 song. That's Stephen's. He'll have to give me a copy of it. Anyway, let's. Where are we? Get all the right windows up on screen. Anyway, thanks. So we had Oggy today. I think Blues Inc. popped in for a few minutes there. We had Kun Stephen here on the Discord, and our usual cohorts on the main channel. Thanks all for joining. It's great to have you here. It's what makes the Saturdays fun. We're going to love you and leave you. It's coming up to 25 minutes past the hour, so here's the music.